obsessed with TLC and all the trashy reality TV. It's a recap. It's a recap. It's a recap. Thank goodness for Factor. They have made my life so much easier because deciding what to eat every single day is a chore for me. It's literally the bane of my existence, especially since I'm trying to eat out less, save money, and also I just hate cooking so much. I'm sorry, it is what it is. I've tried, I just hate it so much. I hate everything about it, and that's why I love Factor. They're fresh, never frozen, and dietitian approved meals that are ready to eat in just 2 minutes, and they get delivered right to your door. My sister came to visit me last week, and it was her first time trying Factor meals, and she ate half of my box, my Factor box meals. Oh my God. So I gave her my code so she can order her own box next month. Also, if you love to snack, don't worry. They have a bunch of bite-sized snacks and smoothies and juices. I'm especially loving the juices because I'm on a health journey. And in the mornings, I don't really have an appetite. I don't want to eat anything, but I know I have to get something in my stomach. And these juices are perfect for those days. If you guys want to give it a try, head over to factor75.com or click the link below and use code mythot50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. Again, go to factor75.com or click the link below and use code mythot50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. And thank you so much, Factor, for sponsoring this video. Hi, welcome back to another recap. Let's talk about The Other Way, Season 6, Episode 7. It was a very interesting episode with James and Tata and then the brand new couple. So I'm going to skip Dems and Stat. I'm also going to skip Ink and Corone. So let's get into James and Tata because it's kind of a long one and I really want to get into it because it was very confusing and also frustrating. So in the beginning of the episode, we see James, he's learning how to make the banana chips from Tata's dad and he's doing a great job. And actually, I want to try the banana chips. They really look so delicious. I don't like bananas though, so I don't know how that would work. If the banana chips weren't super strong on the banana flavor, I think I would love them. If they sell them online, I would totally buy some from them. But if anybody knows, let me know. Okay, so after making the banana chips, they sit around the dinner table to taste test the banana chips that he made. And they're a banger. They all love it. They're all laughing. They are happy. And then suddenly, James looks at Tata. And he's like, I think now's a good time to, talk to them and tell them our plans of never leaving. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. So she looks to her parents and she's like, Mom, Dad, we have something to tell you. And they're like, oh, okay. And then she goes, we're going to move here. Like now we're never leaving. Surprise. And initially they're super happy. Actually, I think the whole time they were pretty happy. They were so excited. They were like, oh my God, you are? That's great news for us. You're going to be with us. You can join the banana chip family. And they're happy. They're smiling. Woohoo. It's really good news for them. Because remember, Mom wanted her to stay by her side. So Tata is translating everything between her parents and James. And James tells them that they have a little bit of debt. They have to pay off their car. And her parents want to know how much the debt is. And he says it's $16,000. And her parents are like, wow, okay, we're gonna try to take care of it for you. And James is like, oh, well, I don't want to add any more burden onto you guys. And then the dad says, well, when people have children, you are responsible for them. Just don't take out a loan ever again. So Tata translates that, and then James is a little frustrated, and he's like, I mean, there are situations in life where you have to take out a loan. You don't have any other choice. And then the dad goes, well, when you take out a loan from the bank, then the bank controls you. And then Tata is translating all of this. And James gets very frustrated with Tata because all she's doing is translating and not adding anything to the conversation. So he's like, okay, Tata, you need to help me here. Like, you need to explain more. And she's like, I'm translating everything. And he goes, yeah, but join in on the convo. Like, this isn't just about me. You're included in this too. Now, I personally did not understand why James was so upset and why he was like pushing and poking and poke and poke and poke. I didn't get it. He was just like being so annoying. And he kept saying, join in, talk, lead the conversation. But he didn't say how. He didn't tell her like what to say or like what the topic was. I was confused. I was like, what do you want her to say? Like, say something. Like, tell her to say this or that or talk about this or that. Like, you're just saying go, go, go. And you're not telling her where to go. Now, watching this back, I realized he probably wanted her to ask her dad for a full time job for them. Like, he wants to work for the banana chip factory full time and he wants to get paid. And that's probably what he meant when he told the cameras that them paying off their debt isn't going to solve the problem. The problem being they need regular income, they need a steady income so that they can have money. And if that's what he wanted her to relay, then he could have just said, "Hey, Tata, can you tell them about how we need an income? Like, will your dad give me a job and pay for it?" But then he already knows the answer because she already told him that he's not going to get paid when he's living in their house for free and being fed for free. Like, that's the trade off. But I think he wanted her to like push her dad to, give him a paid job. I don't know. But what pissed me off was when James kept pushing and pushing. You know how when you're trying to gather your thoughts and you're trying to say something and somebody from the side just keeps pushing you to say this, and it's like throwing you off and you just get frustrated because on top of that, you're already nervous, you're already anxious. And this is just the vibe I'm getting from the two of them in that conversation. I felt like Tata was growing more and more nervous, more and more anxious, and James just on the side just kept poking and poking. And she got increasingly frustrated. Now, that's not to say I don't understand James's point of view. Like, I get that he wanted Tata to take more control and take the lead and just like say everything he wanted her to say, but then like say that. I also found it highly annoying that this was all his idea not to tell her parents or his parents or anyone about this move. So remember when he got to Indonesia, she was stressing out about telling her parents. She was like, "We can't delay this anymore. We really have to tell them as soon as possible. And I want to tell them tonight." And James was like, "Oh my God, do we have to do it tonight? I just got here. I want to relax. I don't want to jump into this conversation." My point is, she wanted to tell both of their parents as soon as possible, and he was the one who kept pushing it off. And he has the audacity to get frustrated with her without even telling her what he wants her to fucking say to her parents. Like, what? She was like, "Okay, what do you want?" And he goes, "You need to take control of the conversation." And she's like, "I'm trying to. I'm translating right now."
To translate.
You don't have to translate anymore. Talk to your parents and let them know about
I was trying to.
Okay, I will stay quiet so you can do that then.
Now, in James's interview, he says, "There's no way I'm going to let her parents pay for our car. They shouldn't have to do that." Which I absolutely agree with. They should not have to do that. You guys are grown-ass adults. You should have handled the mother effing car before you moved, you idiots. Oh my God. Also, if that's what he wanted her to say, then say it. She's obviously not getting the picture. So you can be like, instead of saying, "Take control of the conversation," he could have said, "Can you tell your parents that I don't want them to pay off the loan for our car?" Like, just say that. And then she would have translated it. Oh, I know a lot of people are focused on Tata and her breakdown right now and calling her like so crazy, blah, blah, blah. That's what I did the first time. I'm going to admit it. I was like, "Oh, what the hell was that meltdown for? Like, how did it escalate? How did it get so bad? Like, why is she crying again?" But then I watched it another time because I really wanted to understand what the hell was happening. So as James is pushing and pushing, Tata is feeling more pressured. And she starts tearing up and she expresses to him why she's getting frustrated. And I'm pretty sure the parents have no idea what's happening. Like, why are they yelling at each other? Why is Tata crying? Why are they fighting? They have no idea.
And that's why I don't think we were ready to have this conversation.
We do. You just need to be patient as you can.
I agree with her. First of all, this is why they needed to have a conversation before addressing the parents. They just kept saying, "We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out." And James kept saying, "You take the lead. You take the lead. I'm going to follow your lead." Okay, then follow her fucking lead. Stop interrupting. Stop trying to drive the conversation one way. Let her handle it. Ugh. So then Tata breaks down, telling her parents that she feels awful for burdening them. And her dad says, "It's fine. You guys are our children. We're taking care of you. Like, that's our responsibility. And when you guys have your children, you're going to understand. You're going to have the same conversation with them." And her anxiety escalates. You can tell she's breathing faster and she's like, and she has a full-on meltdown. She's apologizing profusely to her mother. And then her dad suddenly gets up and is like, okay, you need to bow down and kiss her feet and ask her for forgiveness. Now, this was super confusing because her parents seemed totally fine all up until the dad told her to like kiss her feet. I don't know. It was just confusing. I feel like we were missing some context here. I was just like, what the hell happened? Is this cultural? I was genuinely confused. So I Googled because Googling is easy. If you're ever confused about something, just Google. It's not that hard. Okay, well, thankfully, I wasn't the only one who was confused. I came upon a Reddit thread and I'm just going to read it. Okay, so the original post reads, any fans with knowledge of Indonesian culture, what the fork happened tonight? Okay, my husband and I watched the Other Way episode tonight, in which Tata loses it in front of her parents and the father demands she kisses her mother's feet. I feel like I understood the scene if the parents were angry at them, but they... Okay, pause. I feel like I understood the scene if the parents were angry at them, but they seemed pretty okay with everything. At first, the parents seemed super supportive while she and whatever her dumbass husband's name explain that they have all these debts and they want to live in Indonesia and they might need assistance to do so. But then the two silly children start to argue. Tata had a meltdown and the dad told Tata to kiss the mother's feet. I know a lot of foreign nationals watch this dumpster fire right along with us Americans. Can someone explain to me what happened? Why did the parents go from being supportive and understanding to demanding that Tata kiss the mother's feet as if something terrible had happened? Did the dad just understand that this is his emotionally crazy daughter who needs to do something dramatic to feel better? Were they actually not being as supportive initially as the 90 Day F crew translation/subtitles made us think? Is there a translation issue culturally or linguistically at play here that I am missing? Great question. That's exactly the same exact questions that I had. I speak both languages, watched the segment with subtitles, and still had to rewatch it 3 times because I was also confused as to what happened. Basically, Tata feels like a burden because culturally, once you are married, you're no longer the parent's responsibility. But Tata and James are asking for a place to live, they're asking for a job, and the parents offer to pay off their $15,000 car loan in the United States while they are making $4 a package on banana chips in Indonesia. Someone smart, please do the math. Tata naturally feels bad, and being the mature, thoughtful adult that she is, she starts crying and apologizing with snots in her face. James is confused at this point because he didn't keep his promise to his father-in-law to learn Indonesian 5 years ago. I just got that. That's funny. Okay. In Indonesia, there is a saying. I'm not even going to attempt to say this. But basically, it translates, heaven lies beneath your mother's feet. It's supposed to teach children to respect their parents. As soon as Tata says sorry, Dad gets up and tells her to kiss her mother's feet to apologize because, that's where heaven is at. James is double confused at this point because, one, as an Indonesian, I'm confused myself as to why the response to her crying is to kiss her mother's feet. I have never done that and don't know anyone who has. 2, everyone forgets he doesn't speak the language and no one bothers to tell him anything while the situation has gone from 0 to 1,000 in less than 3 seconds. Oh my God, that's so funny. There was another good comment, I thought. Hold on. Another Redditor said, I think the parents thought Tata was crying about the debt, but don't realize she was crying about the when you have kids comment. And James didn't understand it at all. Someone else says, I agree. She seemed like she was holding it together, but was pushed into hysteria the literal nanosecond her dad said kids. From her point of view and based on what the Indonesian user said, she's probably feeling like huge failure in her culture by having to financially rely on her parents while married. And on top of that, she doesn't even have kids. And her husband might not ever want them. I kind of get it, to be honest. Someone else said, I have a very vague, almost certainly wrong theory about the kissing feet thing. Even though she didn't necessarily have to apologize to her mom at that point, perhaps when she was a child and she would be crying after behaving badly, they would make her kiss the parents' feet as an act of repentance. Perhaps in this very moment, when it was clear that she was crumbling under the pressure, the parents felt like it was necessary to try and calm her down, and that if she performs in this act of repentance, it will help her feel like she's done something to start solving the problem and she can start to move on. Perhaps she calmed down quickly after that happened. I don't know, just a theory. theory. Someone else responds to that and says, I kind of agree with you because it doesn't seem like it was her first time doing it. LOL, as dad quickly said to hurry to her mother's feet, mom pushed back her chair to give her clear access to her feet, and Tata just dropped straight down there to the feet. Typically, this is done with a lot more grace at wedding ceremonies to pay respect to the bride and groom's parents, which makes more sense than whatever this is. And someone else says this does look pretty routine. They knew exactly what to do. I'm guessing this is normalized in their family. Very interesting insight. I'm so glad. Sometimes like Reddit can go one of two ways, that you can find really interesting, like thoughtful insight like this, or just find really dumb shit. Honestly, they're both so frustrating in their own ways. First of all, they should have had a detailed conversation about exactly what they were going to tell her parents, what they wanted to say before telling her parents. And they should have absolutely handled their car, sold it, done whatever they needed to do before moving to Indonesia. And honestly, they could have done a lot of things different, but here we are. In the next episode, it looks like they're going to get into another argument, so I'm excited to see where this goes. Now let's move on to the new couple. We have Sean, 38, from Ireland, and he's with Joanne, 43, from Long Island, New York.
He loved my accent. I was like, what accent? Because to me, I don't have one.
She has two boys, 12 and 18 years old, and he has, I think, one young daughter. Doesn't say how old she is, but according to the picture that they showed, she looks about 8, 9, or 10. In the past, she was married for 11 years to her kid's dad, but they just kind of grew apart and eventually separated. They have a co-parenting relationship now. She is a natural-born medium, psychic, Reiki, and energy healer. How fun. Okay, so how did they meet? He wanted to get a reading, he found her and booked an appointment, and their 1-hour session turned into 6 hours of talking about so many things, and the rest is history. Joanne's gonna take both of her sons to Ireland to meet Sean for the very first time. Now, they've known about Sean, and I'm pretty sure they've spoken to Sean on video chat, but meeting him face to face is a whole different story. They both seem open to it, and I thought it was so sweet when the older son said, I just want to see my mom happy. So sweet. So they have a secret that nobody knows about. You see, everyone thinks they're just boyfriend and girlfriend, but guess what? They're married. And guess what again? They've been married for 2 whole freaking years. And they haven't even told their family. Actually, it's unclear whether his family knows or not. They were focused on her family not knowing. Her sons have no idea. Her mother doesn't know. Her sister doesn't know. No one knows from her side. So they're on FaceTime and they're trying to think of how to break the news to her family. And she tells Sean that she doesn't think she can move to Ireland if her sons don't accept him.
The boys are big decision maker here. I don't know, like, if I could commit to the move if they don't like you.
Okay, that's great and all, but why did you marry him then? It makes no sense. Like, why would you marry him before your kids meet him if you think it's so important for the kids to accept him? What? Make it make sense. Also, if they are okay with it, what, you're just gonna leave them? With the 18-year-old, I understand he's 18, he's going to college or doing his own thing. But the 12-year-old? What about the 12-year-old? He's still a very young age where he needs his mother. You're just going to leave him? She wants to move to Ireland and then visit him like every month or so. What? Okay. Oh my God. I literally don't understand parents who leave their kids and move to a freaking different country for their boyfriend or girlfriend. Like, what? Your kids still need you. He's 12. He's so young. Okay, calm down, Poe. Calm down. Well, in the next episode, she tells her mom that she's been married for 2 years. And her mom flips out because her daughter was married for 2 years. And she had no idea. So, yeah, I mean, I'm with the mom. Like, how can you not tell her that you were married? And that, my friends, concludes the recap. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. I literally want to know what you guys think about James and Tata. Also, if you haven't liked this video or given this video a thumbs up, what are you doing here? I think you should click the thumbs up button for me. Thank you. That's one way to support my channel. Thank you guys so much. I love you, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.